So now let's make a stutter edit. So what you can do is you can open the boring drums track or the boring drums clip, and you can kind of zoom in a little bit because you're going to be working with a really small file. As you can see right here, there's just a couple of hits, and this is all part of a drums file. So what you'll need to do is you need to be really careful here. And in the multi-track session, in the multi-track editor, you have to make sure that you choose this time selection tool. And so to create a stutter edit, what we'll do is we will select this little bit here. Okay, so that's just the little part of the track. And then what we'll do is we will create a stutter, so it basically just repeats it over again. So this is, so I'm sorry, then we got to split the clip here. So it's similar to the razor blade tool that we had before. So as you can see now, if I deselect that, so it just basically creates little edit points in there. And so we split the clip, and then we go back to the move tool, and then we can option drag, oops, we can option drag them. So you can repeat that over and over again. Basically, that serves as a copy and paste. And then what we can do is, if we like this and we want to make this a new track and maybe, I don't know, loop it, then you can select all of those and then right click and then go to bounce to new track. And so be sure that you select selected clips only, because otherwise it's going to take the entire track and just copy it. So then you have this specific clip. So it's all these 4 clips all kind of molded into one, and you just notice they all act as one solid clip. So that's bouncing your stutter edits. And now let's go to, so I'm going to close this out, and I'm going to go to lesson 11. And in lesson 11, we have the automation. So I'm going to use automation track. And so what we can do in the multi-track editor is we can ride audio levels while a track is playing. And so lots of times what I like to do is I like to toggle this return playhead to start position on stop. So essentially what that does is as soon as I play this clip, as you can see I'm playing the clip, and as soon as I stop it, it's going to return. So it goes to the position that I started in. So that's really, really helpful when you use this mixer. So if you want to automate this, you go to the mixer. As you can see now, this is the vertical version of what you saw here, right here. Okay, so these are the tracks going this way, and this is just all of those levels. And so these are panners. And so say if I want to modify the levels of the main drum, since I know that this one is consistent throughout the whole track, you want to select this over here. So this is your main drums, and so what you'll need to do to of course I want to make sure that I'm beginning, yes. You'll want to put this onto write, and what that means is it's basically writing keyframes onto the track itself. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold on to this panner here, and I'm going to hit play, and I'm going to ride these audio levels. See? So the audio levels are really, really low now, and I can ride them high, and I can ride them low, and I can keep them high, or I can keep them low. So just notice that I'm riding these. Okay, and it's adding those individual keyframes, so it's adjusting the audio levels as I'm increasing and decreasing. So I'm actually pulling those up and down. And then if I go back and watch, it basically looks like a drum. I'm sorry, a ghost. So watch this. So it's moving these together because it was, remember, those keyframes. Okay. So then what happens is, so say if I missed, so if I'm editing something and I missed a particular beat, or I missed a particular area that I wanted to come up, or I didn't get it right to the point that I wanted to, you can edit that individually, or you can just make that subtle adjustment online in the same way. And you don't have to play the entire track. You can just play the areas that you want to, what they call touch. As you can see, after you hit right, it automatically goes to touch. So it allows you to touch up the areas that you don't, that you kind of messed up the first time around. So what I could do here is, so watch this. So I had this on touch. So I'm going to hold on to my track. I'm going to hold on to my panner, and as I'm holding it, it'll stay put. So any adjustments I'm making now, so I'm actually dragging this. Now if I let it go, it'll kind of move on its own. So it's going to revert back to its old keyframe. So if I drag it again, I'm going to pull it up. Oops. If I drag it again, I'm pulling it up. If I let it go, it's on its own again. So that's how you work the right and the touch.